Hey everybody, it's episode 347, talking men's health again today. This time we're talking all things protein.
Ooh, that's important.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Prime Podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Skip Wyss, and as always, I have the amazing Dr. Julie Wyss with me today. How are you?
I'm great.
We're talking men's health again. It's Movember. This is week 2, okay? And I wanted to talk about nutrition in men today. I want to talk about men's nutrition, but importantly, I want to talk about muscle development and protein synthesis and all of these things that we hear out there. And let's just break it down and keep it really simple because men need to be strong, but so do women.
Mm-hmm.
So, ladies, we know there's a lot of ladies that listen to this podcast. This works for your spouse, your husband, and it will actually work for yourself. But we're talking men's health today, so this might be just a little bit more men focused, but it's going to be counter transferable.
Yeah, it was like Movember. Like there'd never be like a Woember for December. I don't know.
Fember. Movember is male.
Female member.
Yeah, female.
Fember. Okay.
December, December. Well, kind of it is December. We talk a lot of pregnancy during December.
Sorry.
So December will be coming up. Okay.
Keep you on track.
So it's Movember. And so today we're going to be talking protein and all things protein and muscle development for men because healthy exercising in men is imperative. Men need to build muscle.
Mm-hmm.
And we build muscle at an early age. Best muscle building years for males is between the ages of 13 to 25. That's when your testosterone is really being produced and really helping for muscle development. I know some of you out there are going to comment and say, well, he should do his research. And no, it's 13 to 25. That's when we reach skeletal maturity. That's when we reach mental acuity. Yes, testosterone will continue to go up into your 40s, but testosterone will continue to be there your whole life. Just your best muscle development years are in your early teens and in your early 20s.
So you're gonna get your gains.
10 years there. Mm-hmm. That's really vital. Hence why you grow and get big. But if you think about it, that's when you're eating like a Mack truck. But then men tend to either carry those nutritional guidelines forward, or they get away from them completely. And when we're young men out there, our metabolisms are high. We can kind of eat whatever we want.
I say that's usually I used to eat anything that I wanted and I was fine. Women too. And now I can't.
Things change.
Yes.
Your body habitus changes. When you reach 22, you're no longer growing skeletally, which means you don't need to be eating what you were eating before in the forms of garbage, and it's still turning into more of a positive body benefit when really it actually is fairly negative because it stresses your pancreas, it stresses your insulin, it stresses your sugars out, and we need a very protein-based diet. Now, some will argue and say, I'm vegan, I don't eat animals. Yes, but you still get protein. You get protein in the form of vegetables. You get protein in the form of beans. You eat nuts. You're eating different seeds. Like you're getting protein in. You're just not getting it in the animal form.
Right.
That's the big thing that we need to understand here is that your protein is still extremely important for your body to function and build. But muscle is the building blocks of your life. And the building blocks of muscles is amino acids. And amino acids is what your body needs for your muscle to develop, but then sustain both smooth muscle and skeletal muscle, which is the stuff you have voluntary control over, and to help build and form and keep your body healthy. Super important to understand because your body burns tons of fat every day just sitting and resting. And I know I'm one to talk. I have a belly on me. I get that. I work really hard at trying to get it off. But the biggest thing that I found is the more I try to support muscle growth, the better off I am and the less that fat stays because the muscle burns it.
Well, that's it's like we need the muscle in order if we want to lose weight, if we want to, get rid of that fat, we need to have the muscle in order to do that. And I think so many people think, okay, I'm going to just decrease my caloric intake. That's what puts our body into a state of stress.
Yes.
And then it's scared, not knowing where the next meal is
Mm-hmm.
going to come from. So it's always going to keep everything.
Yep.
But if we can get that good protein in there, that's what primes the pump. That's what gets the body, rolling, and it's going to keep that. So then when it wants to, break down that fat, that's where we get that weight loss.
Yeah, in your middle-aged men now, the big thing is using GLP-1s, using different pharmaceuticals to help lose weight, but do they actually support muscle mass, muscle growth? You need to feed your muscles. That's a big deal. And muscles are energy pigs. They're trying to take energy from your body constantly to get stronger, stay strong, keep your body upright because it's fighting gravity all day. Therefore, you need to feed it that way. And it'll keep eating fat up as an energy store if it's there and it's in a fat burning state. But if it's in an easy sugar burning state, it's not going to touch fat right away.
Right.
And it's so men will be out there and they'll be like, okay, I need to take all these peptides. I need to do these different things to get back to where I was in my 20s. But do you really need to be back into your 20s and your 40s? No, you need to be in your 40s.
Well, it's like, what did your lifestyle look like when you're in your 20s? Like, it should be a completely different area of your life.
Here's the thing you want to look at. This is the old bench test right away. Did you drink in your 20s? Most men, yes. Did you ever get inebriated and drunk? At some point in your life, you probably did in your teens and 20s, somewhere in there, late teens, early 20s. How did you feel the next day? Did you bounce back from alcohol being in your system faster than you having 2 beers now in your 30s and 40s? Every guy that I talk to, every male, especially in their 40s, I just can't do it like I was in my 20s. Nor should you. You shouldn't be out there trying to get it done like you were in your 20s. Your body's completely different. It's looking at energy sources completely different. It's not in build, get big mode. It's in survival and thrive mode, not in just keep me together, piece me together, try to keep me in this stress cascade. And how can we eat to help? That's the key. And a lot of men out there, then they'll start, if they're in the gym, they want to hit up protein powder right away. They want to put creatine in their system right away, creatine monohydrate, whatever you're taking, and then they're going to take some sort of pre or post workout, usually a pre-workout, which has caffeine in it. And you're going to try to do this in your 30s and 40s, which is going to cause even more stress to your body and lead to a probability of having more heart issues. So how do we support that? What do we do to help our body instead of sit there and try to make it synthetically do things because we're adding things in? The first thing we want to do is, we can talk about this right away, is taking amino acids to help the body.
Building blocks.
Building blocks. Because you'll take protein, but protein inevitably breaks down into amino acids, which then your body needs to use as building blocks to build muscle. It's not the protein as much as it is the amino acids that help your body form and help your muscles form. And some people, when they work out, they'll take BCAAs, which is branch chain amino acids, which they take during their workout. But you need to actually feed your body the amino acids before your workout, so it's then using it to build the muscle instead of eating while you're at the gym, which means like taking in BCAAs.
It's like the appetizer, right? Before the meal. We need to have this first before if we're gonna do additional protein. We need to have that starter in there, and then we can build off of it.
Exactly. And that's where amino acids come into play. And you should be consuming amino acids when you wake up in the morning, because your body is usually in a fasting state. If you stop eating between 8 and 9 o'clock, which you should be not eating past 9:30, then you wake at night, and then you wake up the next day, you're in a fasted state because hopefully you didn't eat all night. And you usually haven't eaten in 8 to 10 hours. Well, then what you should be putting into your body right away is amino acids, which can be in the form of protein. Eating 30 grams of protein right when you get up in the morning within a half hour of waking can do this.
Most people don't have a steak on hand right away. But that's leftovers. We've done that as well. But sometimes it's kind of like, I don't want to eat something
it's hard to
away
eat
in the morning.
That first half hour if you haven't programmed your body to do that. Up yourself and get yourself going. But it will look for these. So what you can do is you can take amino acids, like Perfect Amino is a brand that we use. We'll put a link in the comments for you guys, and put a link for your store to go buy them.
Just tastes really good
They
too.
they taste awesome. They actually, like, the mixed berry is good, but the strawberry one's really, really good. And those give you the 90 amino acids that are building blocks for your muscle. And then as you proceed through your day, if you can work out right away too. So consume 30 grams of protein within 30 minutes of waking up. And then you can do that in the form of perfect aminos or amino acid, or you have to consume meat. And then the next thing you do is you have to work out. And it just has to be 30 minutes to a half hour to 30 minutes to an hour of working out, getting your heart rate in a fat burning state, not in an aerobic state, which is, you're not running.
I said this could just be like a brisk walk.
A good walk.
Right? You could do a couple of hills. You can do, like elliptical workout. This isn't a like get sweaty, full blown type of a workout. That's not needed to be able to do this.
Exactly. To be able to do this, exactly. You just need your heart rate in that fat burning
activity
state.
level doesn't matter, right? If you're like, well, I'm not a gym person. That's okay. You just need to walk. You were given legs to be able to get that movement.
And you can put it at a 1 to 2 degree angle if you're on a treadmill and walk for 30 minutes. It will kick your butt. Like, and keep, like it does. In a good brisk walk will make you work. One of the least talked about, but yet most impactful forms of exercise for your body is walking. It's like the stepchild that nobody wants to talk about, yet everybody knows that it makes a difference in the family. And it's absolutely vital to the family, but nobody wants to talk about it.
Well, I think it's because it's so easy and like everybody can do it. So if we don't like acknowledge it, then maybe somebody's gonna be like, well, walking's not gonna do anything.
Yeah, but walking, it's usually the easy things that are extremely valuable, like gratitude in the morning, being happy, thanking God for your day, for your family, for your children. That sets the tone. Winning the morning, like you'll hear these guys, these health coaches, all of them out there, like, you got to win the morning. You win the morning, you win the day. Well, what does that mean? Consume 30 grams of protein, consume amino acids, do a 30-minute workout, get movement, 30 minutes to an hour, and then practice gratitude during that time. And you have won the day. You have set the tone differently.
It sets the tone.
You have helped your body out better. You have actually put things forward in the right positions to then set your day up for really good, positive days instead of being negative all day. Getting movement in the morning has been extremely vital to me.
It's the good endorphins as well.
Yeah, and you feel really good when you come back and your body's moving, and you can do some light stretching if you want, but you don't have to hit the weights up. Now, I am not, for lack of a better term, taking a dump on high velocity, like HIIT workouts and like high intensity workouts. Those are extremely important for your body too. Your body needs stress to build. But you can stress your muscles. The best thing you can do is weight lift and strength train. Strength training is huge. But if you don't have the amino acids in your system, what happens is you start burning your smooth muscle. So your body basically has about a 15 to 20 minute energy reserve. And as soon as it hits that, then it starts actually liquefying your smooth muscle to keep its energy up, because that's a good form of energy. But we don't want that. You don't want your smooth muscle breaking down. You don't want your muscle tissues breaking down. And in fact, when we used to do different nutrition programs, we would feel like we were getting weaker. And we knew it. Why am I weak? Like, why am I not strong? And the issue is that we were doing nutrition to lose weight instead of gain strength and be healthy. And that is one of the hardest things as a societal norm, especially in men. Actually, I think it's probably a little bit easier for men than women, is to actually do things for health versus weight loss. But if you have body dysmorphia or issues like how I was raised, which was always to lose weight and get thin versus be strong and healthy and be muscular, big difference. So I will always look at a scale and be like, I need to be thinner versus I just need to be stronger. And if we can change that, and men, this is where it comes down to you, because you're leaders in your family, and that's why this is important for men's health, is you need to lead your family into building strength and actually help support your wife in being strong and getting her strength back and lifting and being powerful versus just being thin. Because being thin doesn't amount for crap in a survival situation. If you're super thin and you can't pick up logs and you can't move shit around, you're going to die. You will be left by the wayside. You are the toothpick. But if you're the thick female in the society, and what I mean by that is muscular, sound, and you're strong,
and
and
you can still be thin. Like that's I think there needs to be that congruency between the two, that, we starve ourselves. What does that do to our body? It makes our bodies weaker. So that's not the goal. The goal is to, okay, when we eat, we're going to eat good foods that are good for us. They're going to be strength building, and that starts with the proteins. So by doing that as the primary, then we do lose the weight. We can become thinner, but we're also building mass.
Yeah, thinness does not equal fitness. And fitness does not equal being light. There are a lot of young women out there right now that push 160, 170 on the scale, look amazing. And if you actually did their fitness and did their actual weight, and they would be in quotes heavy, because the scale says differently. But when you start looking at that adage of muscle weighs way more than fat, this is something that once you talk to somebody that is muscular in shape, it makes sense, like how heavy and dense they are.
Muscle is heavier than fat.
Yeah. Do you know how hard it is? You guys don't know this, but it's very hard to shoot an x-ray on somebody that's very dense and muscular versus super obese and out of shape. If they're really out of shape, taking an x-ray on them is actually really easy. Taking an x-ray on somebody that's super dense and strong and full of muscle, it's hard. You need more radiation to get through them, it's harder on their body, But they're usually not the ones that are in super pain and chronic conditions either. They take care of themselves. But amino acids is the building blocks. That is the building blocks. So men out there, what I'm getting across to you is that consume amino acids in the morning. You need to skip. You need to skip the toast, the peanut butter, the sugary things in the morning, the donuts. Stop drinking coffee right when you get up. Give your body 1 hour, at least 60 minutes to 90 before you consume your first cup of coffee. Started doing that well over a year ago. That's been extremely beneficial to me. Women, it's the same thing, because why would you want to wake up in the morning and give yourself a massive cortisol hit, a massive stress hit? Instead, what I want you to do is get up in the morning, consume some amino acids, consume some protein, and then work out a little bit. And then if you need to, have some coffee because you like the flavor of it. And yeah, it'll hit you different. It hits you different. You're not jittery from it. Your body's using it as an energy source.
Correct. Yes.
Right? Here, I've talked a lot.
Yeah.
But this is something that I'm really passionate about. And guys, if you got that 20, 30 pounds extra hanging on you right now and you can't seem to kick it, especially if you're in your 40s, and everybody's telling you your testosterone's low, you got low T, and all of these things, well, that's because your estrogen's high and you're out of weight and you're out of shape. So if we can start getting that down, your testosterone will start balancing itself back out as your estrogen lowers. But that comes from you losing visceral fat and skeletal and subcutaneous fat.
Do we need movement? Start the day with amino acids.
Yep, and it'll start coming off of you. It'll start coming off of you. I've had this happen with several guys in our office. Younger men, they're in their late 20s, early 30s, struggling with weight, don't understand why they can't eat like they were in their 20s anymore. So we just need to change that nutritional pattern. But more importantly is these guys work shift work. So they're like, I don't eat the first 3 hours when I go into work. Well, guess what? You need to eat, but let's eat this way. Let's get protein in, whether it's in the form of steak and eggs, which is fine, or can we put them in amino acids and still keep your fast going if you like to intermittent fast and not cause that massive loss in weight? Because that's men's biggest thing when we want them to change their diet is, man, I don't want to lose my gains. Well, I don't really have a lot of gains to lose. Okay. But they don't want to lose their gains. Men don't want to feel weak.
Right.
And neither do women. You don't like feeling weak. It sucks. So it's just not the thing. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one. So amino acids, get them in your body first thing in the morning. 30 grams of protein and or a scoop of perfect aminos works out just fine. And get your body prepped to prime to work the rest of your day and build those muscles throughout your day and stay healthy. Dr. Julie, do you have anything else you want to add in?
No, it's perfect.
Thanks. Take care, everybody. We'll see you all next week for the 3rd episode into Movember. Take care, everybody. Bye.